episode 21 of the pre-match mix. Paul is on his jollies. He's somewhere in the Dominican Republic, sunning himself. He sends in lots of photos of various drinks,
Yeah.
really manly drinks like pina coladas and things like that. So he's really living the high life. So he's having a break. So it's myself, Kate, and Iain who's on the
hmm
pod tonight. We have literally just been landed with the news that Mo Salah has announced he will be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. We're talking 20 minutes before we started recording, so it seems really fitting that we jump into that one. So, Iain, I'll come to you first. What's your initial reaction?
Uh, well, do you know what, mate? Some people may laugh at this, but actually watching his video was quite emotional, like really, because I still remember his debut when he scored. I think it was a couple of goals against Watford, and then that was his first season. People calling him a one-season wonder, that sort of thing. And how many years has he been here now? 10, 11, is it? Something like
I think
that.
nine. Well, it would have been 10 with the end of the contract if he had got to the end in next year. So yeah, I think it's nine.
You know, obviously we've won Premier League twice with Mo, and obviously, yeah, Europa. That's probably next season. But yeah, Champions League as well. So it's I just think about the trophies that we could have possibly won with him in you know. But anyway, I'm happy that he's been with us for so long. I had a feeling it was going to come out, but maybe not. Timing wasn't great, if I'm being honest. After the Saturday's game, I didn't watch it because I was away in Ireland, and I'm glad I didn't watch it because apparently we were awful. Um, but yeah, I was at the game when he scored that absolute worldie against Everton when it was snowing a little bit. So that's probably one of my best memories of watching Salah in the flesh. I'd probably say he's up there with some of the best players I've seen since I've been going, since my first game in 1989, which is a long time ago. I think I was 9 years old. Iain Rush scored that day. And yeah, Malby Boxing Day against Sheffield Wednesday. But he's definitely in the top five, along with Iain Rush, Torres, Suarez, Gerrard, Fowler, them sort of players. So yeah, for me, he's will be a legend, always will be. Yeah, gutted, but probably now's the time, really. So
Yeah, and sometimes I think that's where Liverpool has struggled in the past and letting the players go. And I think some will argue Salah probably should have went the end of last year, but I think at
yeah,
that time you really would have thought, well, he was banging the goals in, he was getting the assists. Okay, age wasn't on his side, but
hmm
I think he had everything there to. We thought he'd crack on, but obviously this season's been really testing. There's been bust ups with the management. There's been drops in
yeah,
form, and I think he's probably felt it more than most.
yeah. And obviously, he was big mates with Jogo, wasn't he, as well? So I can't imagine losing one of your best mates. You know, obviously in work and outside of work. So it's yeah, can't imagine it, mate.
Absolutely, absolutely. Kate, how about yourself? What's your initial reaction?
Yeah, I kind of felt like it was coming this year, and you said it could have happened last year, I suppose, but he was old. He's getting up there, and we spoke probably last week or the week before about just older players signing on those 1 2 year deals and kind of going off after that. Um, yeah, I guess it sucks, but I don't feel like I feel like good about it. I don't feel bad about it like I felt with like Suarez. Maybe because like he did his career here. Like we got to watch the career go pretty much all the way through. Unlike a Suarez or a Torres who kind of left early and kind of went to other clubs and stuff, we got to watch Salah all the way through and got to watch all the good stuff, all the bad stuff, and uh, there's a little bit, I think, more connection there. It feels almost like, I don't know, almost like a regular retirement. He may go play somewhere else for a little bit, but I don't particularly expect him to head over to like Barcelona and play, for we don't know 3 years down the road. I don't expect him to be knocking us out of a Champions League or anything like that. So it's more of a, just like he's going off into the sunset of his and career, and we need a bit of a rebuild with some of the older players in the squad and stuff. So it's more of a good feeling, more of a I'm glad we got to watch him for so long, and kind of like that. That's kind of how I feel, I guess.
I think you made a really great point there, Kate, about we got to see him and his pom for his career at Liverpool. Whereas, as you say, with some of the greats, and you know what Iain's mentioned there, and some of the names, Torres, Suarez, where it was more fleeting. I think we've only really had Gerrard and going back to yesteryears where you're talking like Rush and Dalglish, where we really seen them throughout the career give the best years to Liverpool. So I think we can all agree that he's definitely done that. Talking about destinations, I think everyone's probably nailed on that he's possibly going to Saudi. Kate, would you think maybe America has got a shout in that?
Maybe. I kind of like the Saudi shout because I think he's genuinely connected to that part of the world just in general. And he's always, all of his outward, like anytime he speaks up, it's, protecting that kind of corner of the world. And I think he just fits over there. That's near where he grew up, and just a more connecting part of the world. Maybe USA, I suppose, but I kind of like the idea that he fits on over there.
Yeah, it seems to be the logical choice, doesn't it? Absolutely. And, there's still some really good players in that league. And Firmino's there, Mane's there. So, maybe not Mane. I don't think the two of them were really good friends. But, there's players still out there who he can still connect with, and they're all teammates in that sense. So, yeah, it'll be an interesting couple of months. But I think he's probably just shy of a testimonial. So we'll see if Liverpool give him a game in that sense. I could definitely see that one selling out again if he does get any sort of a testimonial game, but it might just fall short maybe.
I remember the last testimonial I went, showing my age, was Bruce Grobbelaars, I think. So that was my last Everton testimonial I went to. But don't really hear of it anymore, do you? So.
No, it was more like a swan song, wasn't it, for the players to give them a bit of bit of quids in. They get the gate receipts and see them off. It's not really needed anymore with the way the footballers get paid. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'm just seeing if I can very quickly. I'm sure he's been here 9 years. Let's just have a quick
I think it's 9.
Yeah, I think it is.
They
so
kind of
2017.
attach testimonials to friendlies nowadays, it feels like.
Yeah,
some of the behind the door, not behind the doors, but like, hey, we're playing 4th tier just as like our first friendly warm up, come hang out type of deal.
Yeah, so we'll see what it brings. But yeah, it was quite fortuitous. We were just coming on the pod minutes earlier. Salah had announced this. As Iain said, if you watch the video, it is a bit of a tearjerker. Loads of people now being sad, but look, we need to watch this space. There's 2 months to go in Liverpool season. Salah would absolutely love to go out with it, especially with the Champions League. League's well out of the question. But even if we get further in the FA Cup, I don't know. Maybe it might try and galvanise some of the squad to move forward and bring on PSG. Let's see what happens.
Yep, look forward to it, mate. Obviously, they annihilated Chelsea, and people take the piss out of Rossini. But when he was given, what's his name, Garnacho instructions of like, we were like, well, they needed 5 goals in like 14 minutes or something like that. Some of the things he's done, Rossini, in the last month, 6 weeks, has been a bit bizarre, really. But yeah, I know. Yeah. I don't mind. I don't mind. I'm always looking at managers to see what they do. Obviously, trying to get ideas off for my Sunday team. But yeah, someone said to me the other day, I should be proud of what I've achieved so far, but I've not achieved anything yet apart from get to a cup final and third in the league at the moment. So,
well, you're there. You're in the final. Any idea when the final's going to be in?
Yeah, so it's May the 10th. It's going to be at Daisy Hill, which I think it's a 7:00 kickoff. So it's going to have proper refs, linesmen. The bar will be open. So it'd be great if you could come over, mate. Yeah, proper dugouts, changing rooms. It's going to be a bit surreal, really. But yeah, watching that game in the pub on Sunday, the semi, it was 2-2 at the end of the game, and then Big Lou scored an absolute peach of a penalty to win it. We win it 4-1. Jimmy saved 2 So Jimmy was just unreal. Keeper, shot stopper. He read the penalties like a dream. So yeah, just if we can get promoted and win a cup, obviously league and cup double would be
Being cup double.
first season in management. It would just be unreal. But the lads put an absolute shift in. So
you'd be like a modern day Kenny Dalglish.
I know, mate. I know. Shame I can't play. Well, I could play, but it's too late for me to sign now. And I'd like to give the other lads a chance. So we've got 9 games left, so 27 points to go. Plus, obviously, the cup final. So once the clocks go forward, we've got a couple of evening games coming up as well, which are always difficult because obviously lads are working shifts and 2-10s and all that sort of stuff. But fingers crossed we'll have a good squad and go from there, really. But yeah, I'm just over the moon, mate. I was in an extremely happy mood after Liverpool's crap result, and my other team, Brookvale Albion, got beat 3-2. So they were 2-1 up with 4 minutes to go and got beat 3-2. So yeah, Brookie saved the day.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's 10th of May. Did you say 7 p.m. there, Ian?
It's either 7 or past. I'll let you know soon as.
Okay. Great stuff. So I think that weekend Liverpool are due to play Chelsea. That might get moved, but I think realistically, by the time we get to that stage of the season, no one's really going to be bothered. So I know where I'll be. I'll be on the line up with Brookvale Albion cheering them on. So yeah, I'll definitely make it.
Good man. Can't wait for it. As soon as we know, mate, all the details, I'll share it in the group.
Yeah, great stuff. And obviously we'll post it on the channels as well and make sure everyone's aware. So yeah, good luck to the boys. Let's fingers crossed them. Fingers crossed for the league and cup double as well. That'll be absolutely spot on your first season. Eh?
No, maybe a dream, mate. Absolute dream. But 9 cup final, well, 10 cup finals if you think put it that way. So
yeah. Definitely.
Take each game as it comes.
Yeah. So I'll come back to you in a bit. See if we've got any music choices for us. Kurt, we had a little catch up just before we came on and just check and see if it had any betting choices for us. Obviously, we're on the international break. Thank God, as a Liverpool supporter, that we're on the international break because they can't ruin the weekend this weekend. So that's a bonus. It's all good fun. The Reds can't ruin it. So yeah, what have you got for us this week, Kurt? On a tough weekend to be able to find something.
Yeah, we're gonna do some of the World Cup qualification stuff. We'll start with Wales and Bosnia. That game is in Wales. I did under 2.5 there. Wales, especially at home, love to keep things really tight. They're not particularly great going forward against some of these other teams. And they have to remember these are like finals now. These games can't be open, giving away things, and you got a chance to go to a World Cup here. So I don't expect the game to be particularly open. I never expect Wales games in general to be particularly open. And if Wales were to get up, 1-0 to Wales means we're sitting for the rest of the game, regardless. They're not letting up 2 or getting anything there. So unless Bosnia really go behind and come out and get really, really aggressive really early, it's hard for me to see this get to the 2-1, 3-0 kind of range. Sweden to advance. They're playing the Ukraine. This is in a neutral place. They're playing this one in Spain, in Valencia. So Ukraine don't have the actual home field they're supposed to have here. And I just think Sweden are the better team. We're getting close to a pick 'em price. I like their penalty takers a lot more. I like their depth a lot more for a game that can go the distance. So we're going to take Sweden to advance there. And then one more, we have North Macedonia to not score. They're playing Denmark. And Macedonia have gotten to this spot by, kind of sneaking their way through, beating the teams that they're in the range of, which is always great. But when they play bigger teams, they just really, really struggle. They were in this spot last time when they played Italy. They won that game 1-0 with that really ridiculous goal they scored really, really late in that game. But they went to Belgium, didn't score. Their last couple here. Sorry, I lost where I was. A really, really late goal against Belgium at home. A really, really late goal against Wales at home, all while not getting to 7 or 8 shots in the game. 0-0 against Latvia recently. Scored another kind of late goal very, very recently. So when they do score, it's really, really late in uncomfortable situations. This is a really good Danish team. They're talented. They're good at holding the ball up. They're good defensively. They don't really extend more than they have to. So even if this game is 0-0 or Denmark are chasing it a little bit late, I don't expect them to give up any holes at the back, being the favorite, kind of just taking that into extra time if they really need to. So Macedonia to not score in the Danish game.
Okay, great stuff. And obviously, as you say, Sweden to advance, Potter being the manager, still without Isak, but they have got Gyökeres that they can rely on.
Yes, he just got a new extension, Potter, I think, till like 2030 or something like that. So they like what he's doing over there. So
I think
there
it's
you
been a
go.
difficult campaign for them, hasn't it, really? And
It
obviously, I know
has.
they've had Isak out, but
They've had good chunks of time where they've had like no fit. Like all their good players have just not been fit. So I guess to get to this point, he's been pretty good. I haven't been particularly watching Sweden games, but I've always liked Potter as a manager. I thought he got a really weird little raw deal when he went to Chelsea because they were pretty good. They just didn't have any strikers and they just kept missing all the chances that the team were creating. And it felt like the entire year they were just like, oh, look, they created another 3xG today and Nicholas Jackson missed all the shots. I thought he got a bit of a raw deal and it kind of fell off from there, but maybe he's found something, no real like news in his face all the time, people asking him about his job or his pressure, and hopefully it gets him to the next round here.
yeah. So we see. So okay, that's a really good shout. So Wales under 2.5, Sweden to advance, and North Macedonia not to score versus Denmark. That's our picks for this week. Touching on fancy football, we picked a few people to bag a goal, and bizarrely, myself and Cole got it right, and Kurt, you missed out. I was stunned and surprised by that one.
Yeah, Puemo didn't do me any favors. Um, they scored it when he had a penalty and they had an own goal. They were doing exactly what I thought they'd be doing. He just
Yeah,
wasn't involved in any of the goals. Unfortunate, but at least we got the play right.
yeah.
Play.
So yeah, Cole got Fernandez, I got Wilson, but yeah, it was just it just made us laugh, didn't it, at the weekend to go of all the
Hmm.
people who missed out. It normally be me, but this time I got a bit lucky with Wilson. So yeah,
Yeah,
not
there
too
you
bad.
go.
Yeah. So speaking of fancy football, last week there was some minor movements, I'd say. So Tom Evans still top of the league. He's on 1,823. Josh Dyson just below on 1,818. Jonathan Duffy's in third on 1,807. And then there's a bit of a gap. Our own Collins sits in fourth, but there's almost a 100-point gap. Now, bear in mind, Colin, as he confirmed last week, has used all of his chips. So he's going to find it really tough to try and crack that top three. So I think realistically, it's now a race between Tom Evans, Josh Dyson, and Jonathan Duffy for the top spot. And obviously, as we know, there's £100 for the winner. So we'll keep an eye on that one and see how that goes. But it's getting close. It's getting
Yeah,
really, really close. So
nice,
Iain,
nice.
Iain, any music choices for us this week?
Yeah, no, just a couple of bits. I've picked out a little bet for myself for the weekend, which I'll be doing just with my basic knowledge of Scottish football and lower league football. But I've gone Crewe Oldham, both teams to score, both fighting for playoffs. Notts Oldham are playing Notts County tonight. If they win, 1 point off playoffs. I've been to Oldham a few times. My mate's an Oldham fan. It's a great place for watching football. So that one, St Johnstone home win, and also Blackpool home win. So there's my three for Saturday.
Good
I
stuff.
made the schoolboy error of not changing my team and leaving Haaland in. Obviously, it was the Mickey Mouse Cup final Sunday, so I fell behind in a couple of leagues that I'm in, which is extremely disappointing. I'm hopefully going to go back up to Scotland to watch the mighty Partick Thistle in the next few weeks. Looks like they're going to finish second.
Fab.
Been there twice before. Atmosphere is absolutely class. There is a BBC iPlayer documentary about Scottish ultras now, which I was speaking to a guy from Motherwell this week about who featured on it. He's in something called the Well Society, but if you get a chance to watch the Ultras documentary, it's basically about fan culture in Scotland. I don't know if you can get the BBC in where you are, Kurt, but if you love football as much as we do, it's definitely worth a watch. Highly recommend going up to a game if you can whenever you're here. But music-wise, I've just picked one band for this week, and my memory is shocking, so I can't remember if we've actually spoke about these before. But they're about to go on a UK tour. They're playing in Liverpool at the Arts Club next month. They are called The Guest List. Their latest tune is called Something Real. Just a great tune. Again, a bit late to the party on this band. Similar to a few bands we've mentioned on the podcast, like Royston Club and bands like that. But yeah, The Guest List are from Manchester. They've got about 10, 15 dates. Definitely worth checking out. They're playing at the Arts Club with some other great supports as well. But the latest single, Something Real, check it out, and highly recommend it if you get a chance to go and see them.
Brilliant stuff. So yeah, playing at the Arts Club next month in Liverpool.
Yeah.
That's The Guest List. I will get them on the playlist. I'm going to give a shout out to a mate of mine, Toffee, who's in the band called the Gondolas. They made,
I know the Gondolas.
Yeah, they made BBC Music Institution over in Ireland at the weekend. So that's really, really good. So yeah, great that they're making those kind of waves. So yeah, it's absolutely spot on. So yeah, they've got some good, really good tunes. I'll throw some more on the playlist, and yeah, definitely one to watch.
Yeah, great band, mate. I know a couple of lads. Ben, is it Benjamin?
Ben, yeah. So Ben and Chris, they're brothers. So yeah, Toffee, I can't call him Toffee. He plays on our Monday Night Football every now and again. So he turns up. He's like a modern day Lallana. It's really tough to get the ball off him. So yeah, he's a really good player as well, and really good lad. So yeah, definitely a good set of lads there.
Definitely, mate.
Cool, great stuff. So we're not talking about Liverpool because I think we're all done with Liverpool, and obviously we've just spoken about Salah and all what that means. So we'll see how that pans out over the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Any other topics, guys, that we want to cover today?
Yeah, I just I've been looking at like games to go to, and I know we've talked about Tino's tours and European trips and stuff like that. I was just looking at games to go to before the end of the season. Obviously, I'm a bit older than you guys, but I remember Sampdoria being in like Serie A and looking at their iconic blue, black, and red sort of kit. Always wanted one of them, and obviously back in the 90s, they were very hard to come by. Now you can probably order it off some Chinese website, or Chinese Allen as I call it. But yeah, just looking at to do something like that with my boy before the end of the season, and just to see whether what you guys thought of doing a podcast trip away, basically.
I would be definitely up for it. I love a European away. It's superb. Last one I've done, non-Liverpool, was PSG versus Bastia. That's going back a few years. It was when Cavani was still there. They won, I think 5-1. And that was my first taste of the PSG fans. And when we played them last year, I said, watch out for this lot because they are all mad. They're all mental. And you can really see that in the ground. Not mental as in, violence. Everyone was spot on. But I knew they bring the noise, and they absolutely did. And it'll be the same in a couple of weeks' time. So I think Anfield crowd are going to be a bit better prepared, try and outvoice them. But it was just brilliant to be in that atmosphere. And yeah, I love a European away, definitely.
Yeah, I went to Paris Red Star a few months back. They've sort of dropped off a bit. They were looking like favourites to go up to the top flight. And on Friday night, I was watching Cove Ramblers, which is Roy Keane's first club. It wasn't the best game. It was 1-1, but it's just, I think that's my fourth game in Ireland now. And I love it over there because it's obviously Summer League and mainland Ireland, and obviously Northern Ireland is same as us. But if you get a chance, it was like 13 quid on the gate to go and watch. Brilliant. You can have a beer and just, good atmosphere, good food, and most importantly, great people as well. The Irish are always very welcoming. I've been to watch Cork City, Bohemians, and Linfield, and always made to feel welcome. So definitely worth checking out. Bohemians is the one for me. But
Yep. Well, maybe it'll be the little treat for the League and Cup doubly, and we'll make that happen.
Yeah, well, I was saying to lads, even if we can get a game in like Northern Ireland or Dublin or even with the Isle of Man, just somewhere where we can go and play a game and then have a few beers afterwards. So,
Brookvale pre-season tour. That's what's happening.
well, mate, that'd be the dream, wouldn't it? So, yeah. Worst
So you've
case,
got to organise it.
yeah, I know there's a league down in Bristol, always looking for games. So it's not quite Belfast or Isle of Man, but it'll do.
Absolutely lovely place, Bristol. Absolutely spot
Yeah,
on.
certainly
Yeah,
is.
definitely where to go. But yeah, keep it on the radar. We'll try and rope Colin. Obviously, he's on his jollies in the Dominican at the minute, so yeah, he's a bit further afield than usual. He's closer to Kurt, really, than he is to us. So yeah, we'll see how he goes in that sense. So brilliant stuff.
Sound.
Oh, all right, boys. Kurt, and you want to throw in?
No, you were speaking about Sampdoria. I have one of those shirts. I'll have to send you a picture, but I have one. I have one of those shirts.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great shirt. I went to go look for it just now. I have a bunch in there. I'll have to, but when I find it, I'll pull it out. I'll send you a picture. They are nice shirts.
Yeah, David Platt played for him back in the 90s.
I was going to say the David Platt one, yeah.
Because he was, local lad, played at Crew Alex, which is a team I go and watch now and then. And yeah, just one of the first sort of English people to be playing in Italy, obviously, along with like Mark Haley and people like that. But the atmosphere looks unreal. I think the stadium holds 33,000. I think the average about 30,000, so should be all right getting tickets. But I'm always looking at fixtures across Europe. Just I can always dream. So yeah,
that's good. That's always fun.
Yeah,
can't help yourself. Always dipping in, seeing what's out there.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. But yeah, no, I'll keep you posted on the cup final. I say we've got a game on Sunday afternoon. If you fancy coming down, mate, it's 2:00. I'll send you the details. We are playing bottom of the league, but we never take teams for granted in this. So yeah, we'll keep plugging away.
That's what all the best teams do. Take nothing for granted, just a game at a time. It's the only way you can do it.
Exactly. Get the 3 points, move on.
Yeah, absolutely. Okie doke. Well, we started on a bombshell with Mo Salah announcing his retirement from Liverpool. So we've got a couple of months to celebrate that and enjoy him while we can. But I think we can all agree he's been a fantastic servant for the club. And
yes,
I think it'd be hard to replicate in this modern day football era that we're seeing.
Exactly, mate.
Yeah. So, boys, great stuff. Thanks again.
Always a pleasure.
We'll see you next week.
See you soon.
Have a good one, guys.
Later.
Bye bye.